Good day, everyone. Today I am going to discuss my paper under the sub-theme of policy and governance on the echoes of the river. So my paper's topic is farmers' willingness to participate in irrigation management in a climate vulnerable river system, a comparative study of rain-fed and irrigated rice fields in Cabusao, Camarines Sur. So once again, I am Anthony James C. Albis, and I am representing the University of the Philippines, Tacloban College. So introduction. So sustaining irrigation facilities is vital for reliable water delivery, stable rice production, and the protection of farmers' livelihood. So this is the reason that why farmers give much more priority on the management of irrigation system. And according to recent studies, sustaining irrigation system is really crucial because of the climate change impacts that can affect its quality, such as flooding, drought, siltation, and the outdated canals and facilities of the system. Despite the crucial role of management of irrigation system in sustainable development, according to Tang et al. 2022, farmers' participation in management of irrigation is still affected by their perceived assessment of benefit and cost in participating in collective management. So this is the reason that's why we need to conduct study to assess the determinants of willingness to pay or participate in irrigation management. And one tool that can be applied here is through the CBM or the contingent valuation method. So it determines the farmer's valuation of irrigation services. On the other hand, the Pre-Irrigation Service Act, a law in the Philippines, requires the national government to fully turn over the management of secondary irrigation facilities to the community or irrigator association. Despite that, according to some study, the collective management of the community and the monitoring of the government for the full and effective sustenance of irrigation facility is still inadequate because of um, poor monitoring and consistent siltation of the system. One of the systems in the Bicol region that have been considered as least performing national irrigation system is the Libmanan Cabusao pump irrigation system. So that's why this study mainly aims to examine the socioeconomic, farm, and climate-related variables impact on farmers' willingness to participate in irrigation management. So within a climate vulnerable river system in Cabusao, Camarines Sur. So as well as comparing the practices of rain-fed and irrigated rice field to provide insights into participatory approaches for sustainable irrigation governance. So the methodology, let's start first with the study area. So this study was conducted in the two barangays of Cabusao. So Cabusao is a fifth class coastal municipality in Camarines Sur facing San Miguel Bay, and to its left is the municipality of Libmanan, and to the south is the Libmanan River. So Barangay Camagong is the downstream of the Libmanan Cabusao pump irrigation system. So it is irrigated lowland, while Barangay Biong is an upland area, and it is adjacent to the Manga River. Um, Most of the cultivated crops here is rainwater dependent. So the data collection procedure, it is complete enumeration was employed. So to collect data from farmer respondent, it consists of 98 farmers in the municipality of Cabusao in Barangay Camagong, while 35 respondents in the barangay during the survey period from July 2024 to March 2025. So the study also considered the ethical guidelines like obtaining informed consent among the participants. So the conceptual framework. So it is based on the study of Paleo and Aliando 2024 and Tang et al. 2022. So if you can see, there are classified variables that can affect the willingness to pay and the level of willingness to pay, such as socioeconomic, production, institutional, environmental, and risk factors. So the analytical techniques employed in this study is the double hurdle. What what do we mean by double hurdle? There are two stages. The first one, it involves the binary decision of whether to participate financially and irrigation maintenance, represented by equations 1 and 2. And the second stage determines the level of participation. It talks about the maximum amount that farmers are willing to pay for irrigation management. So this method, double hurdle is one of the most innovative approach to lessen the biases from the respondents because it considers the double stages of willingness to participate of farmers. So this is the summary of survey data with 133 participants. So we have irrigated lowland farmers with 98 in Barangay Camagong and 35 rain-fed upland farmers in Barangay Biong. So if we can see the willingness to pay amount of rain-fed is higher than the irrigated. So you can also see that rain-fed farmer is seem to be older than irrigated lowland. So there's no substantial differences between irrigated and rain-fed farmers because geographically they are still located within the same municipality. However, it can be only be affected by their location due to the reason of the one is rain-fed and the one is irrigated. So like in rice productivity, irrigated is more productive than rain-fed with 2,020 kilograms per hectare and while only 1,631 for rain-fed. So we can find out more in the findings. And we can also see that irrigated lowland farmers encountered flood risk and soil salinity, while rain-fed upland did not encounter this problem. So the factors influencing farmers' willingness to participate in irrigation maintenance are the following. Saltwater intrusion, which is statistically represent significant by 1%. And the next one is rice productivity also determine the willingness of farmer to participate. So in this econometric result, there are only three significant variables. The last one that I didn't mention is the up, meaning upland represented by 0 and lowland by 1. So it means that those who are located in the lowland areas tend to be more willing to participate in irrigation maintenance because it has negative side. So we can also see that the sigma is statistically significant. It means that there's variation among the data sets. So it is a good indicator as well as the constant. So it is positive and statistically significant at 1%. Let us also determine the factors affecting the price willingness or the amount of um, willing of farmers to pay. So there are more variables that are significant in this econometric model. Number one is the saltwater intrusion. Um, Number two is location, upland or lowland. Number three is credit access. So institutional factor. So consistently, four is production capacity, household size as the socioeconomic variable, farm size, and the constant and sigma are also both statistically significant. So showing that it has it is a indicator of being a good model. So we can find here that the geographical aspect of farmers significantly affecting their willingness to participate because it means that they need irrigation infrastructure improvement and management, so they are more willing to pay, like saltwater intrusion and being located whether in upland or lowland area. So notably, credit access is also um, significantly affecting the dependent variable, which is consistent with the recent studies last, like Tang et al. And other more. So, as policy implications and conclusion, the findings identified that the major influencing factors were institutional arrangement, like the credit access and climate trace exposure in shaping farmers' valuation of irrigation services. While most of the socioeconomic characteristics had a limited impact, only the household size with negative sign has significant effect on the variable. So the findings also highlight the significant influence of rice field type in shaping farmers' willingness to pay and irrigation management. What do we mean by rice field type? So we have mentioned that this is whether it is located in upland and lowland. So it means more on the development of study that those systems located without existing irrigation facility in the future, they are tended to be more willing to contribute to irrigation management because they assume and they are hopeful that these irrigation facilities that will be constructed is beneficial to them. Third implication, it emphasized the importance of policy interventions such as improving irrigation infrastructure, implementing flood and saline water control measures to support participatory collective management. Lastly, future researchers can explore social choice experiment method to assess the effects of various alternatives on farmer choices. So it means that there are many methods that can be adapted in assessing farmers' willingness to pay. It just means that the study can still be improved while providing significant implication like the distinct behavior of farmers located within the upland and the lowland area of Barangay Camagong, Kabusaw, Camarines Sur. Overall, I hope this study significantly contribute to the seminar's theme on the policy and governance on the echoes of the river. That's all, and thank you for your time and for listening.